Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I had a few issues with this stream, I don't know why, but it was not wanting to start. However, that is now fixed and the stream should have started. So, yeah, this stream is going to be slightly different. So, we're not going to be directly working on Turty chemistry in this stream. We're instead going to be working on TurtyLib, which is going to be essentially the core part of Turty chemistry. Yeah, this is just going to contain everything that Turty chemistry will need. So, for example, multi-blocks will be in here. This is where all my GUI widgets will be. So yeah, I've just been slowly moving everything over. If I open Turty chemistry, you'll see there's like 230 errors. So I'm leaving that closed for now. Hello AG6, welcome to the stream. Hello Jesus Remix, I'm glad you managed to catch the stream. Good afternoon, True Cookie. Hello Stephen. Hello Gideon. And welcome Arcade Toast. So, yeah, what I'm currently doing, this right here is what I'm classing as a module. So, I want all the machines in Turty chemistry to be modules instead of implementing a ton of interfaces or extending a bunch of abstract classes, because I think a modular system like this is just easier both to implement and just to work with. So for example, I would have let's create an example of what I am aiming for here. So we'll go like this, and we'll just create a test block entity. That name kind of failed, but that's fine. And all I would need to do is extend modular block entity. This already extends a tickable block entity, so it already ticks and everything. All I have to do is add the constructor, and obviously I would put the type in here, but that's fine. And then all I need to do is in this constructor I can do add module, and I can put in the module I want. So for example, the inventory module, all I would need to do is add a new inventory module. One thing I am going to do, I'm going to make that return the module back. Yeah, like that. Hello Yusuf, welcome to the stream. And by doing that, that just means I can have a reference to it in here. So public final inventory module. Inventory. Hello Basti, welcome to the stream. And something like that, if I could type properly. That won't work, of course, because that's looking for the wrong thing. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay, my generics are failing me. Yeah, like that, and then that way we can, it doesn't like that. Am I being silly? Probably. Oh, I am. There we go, and that way it's very easy to add modules. You have no delay, so yeah, it turns out there was a setting in the YouTube stream settings to change the latency. By default it's on normal, which is like very, very high latency, and now it's on low latency. I don't think my internet could handle ultra low latency, so you're probably still maybe 2 seconds or so behind. I don't know. But it should be much better, at least, presuming my computer can even handle low latency, which I think it can. When will the code become open source? Well, I mean, the main Turty chemistry mod is already open source. TurtyLib, probably soon. Yeah, I mean, currently it's full of errors, so not anytime soon. Hopefully after this stream we should be able to fix most of the errors. So, yeah, okay, we can keep that. Oh, that's gonna really annoy me if I don't fix that. Okay, let's just create this, get that error absolutely whacked away. Just the boring old initialization. Test is equal block entities. I don't really care what I'm putting in here. Oh, it's block entity type. That's why it was erroring. How do you register block entities? I have no idea. Is it block entity type.builder? Yes. I haven't registered a block entity in a while, actually, because I've just been working on the same one for forever. Oh, but this requires me to have a block. Oh, you know what? Let's just say that the acacia fence can have this. I don't think it matters. And then I have to... do I have to build it? I think so. What doesn't it like about that? Doesn't like that. Now it likes that. Yes, I know it. Okay. Fine. Happy? No, it's not happy. Why is it not happy? Does not define block pos block state. Block pos block state. Oh, wait. Okay, it just went. Okay, whatever. Sure. What's this? Okay, Eclipse, whatever. You do your thing. So, yeah, let's try and work on this inventory module a little bit. It should be quite simple. I can just copy paste probably most of it from this inventory tile class I created. So we'll have the protected final int size, and we'll put that in here. This dot size is equal size. What else are we going to need? We'll need both of these. Yep. And you know what, we can probably copy paste most of this actually. And that's kind of why I've done it this way. It saved me a little bit of time just implementing this because I already have most of it. Okay. That doesn't contain the update method, but Okay, that's fine. We can deal with that in a second. What are you making? I am making the library for Turty chemistry. Okay, let's... How much of this do I want to actually copy, I guess is the question. I can copy this, but then that's going to be a whole mess to handle. And I'm probably not going to use that anyways. Yeah, so let's remove that. Let's come into here. Let's just return our inventory. I must say this is quite an abstract way of doing things, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think from an external view it's probably a little complicated, or complex, not complicated, but it's probably worth it. Okay, let's invalidate. So this dot. Do we invalidate the handler? Yes. Okay, and God, how do we deserialize the? Okay, it's not going to be this dot handler. It's going to be this dot inventory. Nope, it's not going to be this dot inventory. How the hell do you deserialize? I haven't done... The thing is, I used to do it like this. I used to manually go through the list and serialize them, but that's awful and completely unnecessary. Okay, I'll leave that for a second. Does anything need to tick in here? Speaking of, I could probably make this have a default. Might not always want to tick something, so... I could make them all default, actually. At least deserialize and serialize could also be default. Although, if a module doesn't deserialize or serialize, what does it even do? So I guess we will keep that. Okay, I have to come up with this update method. So I have the update method inside of tickable block entity. And the issue is I don't have a way of accessing the actual block entity from somewhere like the constructor. Unless I want to pass that in here, which I could do, but I don't think the module should hold a reference to the block entity. That's a little bit strange. So, I mean, it kind of has to for this to even work. So, let's then pass in a modular block entity. And then let's pass that into here. And then we can just call be.update. which we can't do because that's out of scope. No, it's not because it's out of scope. It is because Eclipse is being drunk. Nothing new there. Okay, for now I'm going to add the default serialization stuff. So let's copy this. MBT, I'll call this one compound. Okay, simple. Then let's copy the save. There we go. Alright. I think that should be the inventory module actually done. If I'm going to pass in the block entity here, I might as well just save the block entity in here. And then I don't have to pass it into the serialize and deserialize methods. Yeah, I might as well. Okay, protected, final, modular block entity. Block entity. Oh. Okay, and then we're going to use that here. And remove that. Remove that. Remove that. Remove that. Actually, I don't like that. No, it's wrong. Okay, that's the inventory module. I mean, realistically, I should have this in here, but I'm not going to do that. Tickable block entity is fine. Capability module should be fine. I shouldn't need that again. Module list, that should be fine. Module, probably won't need that. And we're back to modular block entity. I guess I should really add hooks for slightly more stuff. So I should add something for onload and is it set removed? I should add something for those. Okay, let's do that. There's no reason a module shouldn't be able to have access to that, so we'll just make them default. Default void on remove. And we'll once again have the block entity, default void onload, and the block entity. We also need to invalidate the caps, which is here. This .modules dot invalidate. This .modules dot on removed, and this .modules dot onload. Pretty simple. And then we'll do for each module dot onload. I can probably copy paste that for remove. And also need invalidate, public void invalidate. To be honest, we don't even need the block entity for when we invalidate them. Didn't I create? Oh, because this only happens for capability modules. Yeah, that's fine. It's just a little more annoying. So filter capability module dot class colon is instance, and then for each capability module invalidates, which of course we have to map first, so we can map it to capability module class cast, and then yeah, invalidate. That's fine. Let's rename this to on removed. It's a little strange. On removed. Oh, that needs this. Okay. Let's delete the inventory tile now. Don't need that ever again. I'm wondering whether I should make modules a registry. I think I might. I've never done a custom registry before, but I think it's quite easy. You just have to implement. I think I forge. No, you don't implement on interfaces, you extend. I forge registry entry. Like that? I'm not sure. Yeah. Is this it? Open implementation. yes, this is what is on basically everything. Shall I do that? What's the thing in here? What is V? Okay. What do I have to do to get that to work in here? Oh, that's a pain. I'm not doing that. Too much effort for absolutely no gain whatsoever. Like, it's a little bit of gain, but that's fine. Yeah, that can be protected. And it's fine. That can be protected. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, what's going on here? Add module T is not applicable for the arguments inventory module. Why? And what's going on here? Okay. Let's make this public. That'll fix that error down there. Why doesn't it like this? Add module. T extends module. T and then T. Oh, okay, it needs this. Oops. There we go. Pretty simple. Hello, Lie on Lion. Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's... What should we do here? Let's change that to a 2. Let's actually test if this works, shall we? That's going to be the best way to do this. So, let's create a block. Public static final. Register object block. We'll call this test. I can't be bothered to come up with anything special. We'll go new test block. New block dot. It's block behavior. Not block behavior. Block behavior dot. Damn, I have really forgotten how all this works. Block behavior dot properties. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Jesus. Okay, let's just I don't know. Wood. Whatever. What are you doing now? Did you fix the GUI? So, what was broken with the GUI? I don't know. I think lots of things were broken with the GUI. But did I fix them? I don't know. Because I started working on this morning. So... Possibly. Let's just extend block and we'll implement, what's the method? No, what's the interface block entity? Right? No? I don't know, I'll figure it out in a second. Oh, entity block, that was it. Mojang. Oh yeah, what am I doing right now? I'm working on the TurtyLib, which is just my library. I thought I created a class for this. Did I not create a class for this? Oh no, I do have a class for this, but it's not like this. It's kind of annoying actually, but it's fine. Pause and state. The tab background you're working on. Oh yeah, I fixed that last stream. I think. Was that last stream or? I feel like that was the stream before, but it must have been last stream. Okay, let's return a new test block entity. Pause and state. And in here, return. Okay, first let's rename these janky things. Let's return level.is client side, then it will be null, or level.get block state, or get block entity, pause, and cast that to a test. We don't have the pause. Oh. Can we do state.get block entity? No. Wait. How do we normally do this? Oh, right, you have to use the function, of course. So we have the level, the pause, the probably state, and the probably block entity, in which we can just return test block entity, block entity. To be honest, let's just name them ABC. Does that not work? It just wants a block entity ticker, doesn't it? Is BE something else? BE is a block entity type. No, it's not. BE is a block entity. So why can't I cast that? I'm not trying to return a value. Okay, let's name these properly then. So level 0, then it's the pause, I think, then it's the state, then it's the block entity. Okay, I think I'm being an idiot at the moment, and so unfortunately I'm going to have to check what is wrong here. So you ticking machine block, get tick method. Oh god, why did I make it abstract here? No, that's not what I meant to look at. I meant to look at this. Tick method that just returns the type. Get tick method, which just returns a block entity ticker. So why does this work? I guess I have to cast it, don't I? So if I go T extends, this is where generics are just horrible. Let's just go. Can I get rid of this? No, it doesn't like that. Okay, well, fine. In that case, let's just go test block entity dot tick. Bruh. You what? Tick is undefined for the type T. Now, does that work? Yeah, so now I can remove the body. Okay, whatever. It's jank. So that's the test block. Then I can come into the block entity init and reference that instead. So block init.test.get. Yeah. Let's close this. I hope I've done the mods.tom all right. I kind of just guessed this is how you do it, but it's probably not how you do it. I've never done a project with multiple mods in it before, because I have my testing part here and then the normal part here. If this doesn't work, I'll just make the testing inside of the normal one, but should work. As long as those are both called in here, which they are. And we're also going to need a way to test what items are in there. Let's go test block. Let's say let's override use. And fix all this jank. I will eventually get parchment to work, but I can't be bothered right now. Return success if level dot is not client side. Then let's get the block entity and level dot get block entity pause is instance of test block entity test dot inventory dot isn't there a way to get the inventory? No. Oh, the inventory is final, so let's just make that public. Bro, why do you keep doing that? Let's not get inventory dot inventory That's kind of janky. Insert item, slot 0. Player.get held gets item in hand, simulate false. Okay, we can do that, and then we can sys out. Okay, if not player that is crouching, then we can do that. Else, let's just sys out test.inventory.get item or get stack in slot 0. Okay, let's test if that works. Probably won't, but it's only one way to find out. Don't like that. Right, because I've changed all the see, this library was originally meant to be just for multi-blocks, but then I thought, why not just have it for everything? So I'm going to have to regen the runs for this to work. I do want to actually work on Turty chemistry this stream, but I don't want to start working on Turty chemistry again without all of this working. And I'm going to have to actually implement this library into Turty chemistry, because otherwise, you know, I have these 250 errors and I can't do anything with those. So hopefully this shouldn't take too long anyways. Yep, that has just completed the first parts. Do you accept these terms? Yes or no? Can I just type yes in here? Oh, I can. I've never had to do that before, so I don't know what that's all about. Okay, let's try run again, so I probably have to refresh and have this regen, which, yes, it has. Let's try again. It should say how many mods load before we even in the game. Okay, there is an error right there. What's that about? Mods.tom missing mess data from mod ID TurtyLib. Huh? Is it? Oh, what an idiot I am. Yes, it is missing metadata. Let's try again. Okay, I don't like that wording. Okay, it's loaded and it does have both the mods. Nice. Let's fix some stuff. So let's change some of this. Can't do 30. Well, I mean, I can do 32 chunks, but I won't. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do 32 chunks. And full bind blend. And full simulation distance. Okay. And turn off auto jump, because no one uses auto jump. Okay. Let's see if this works. I'm quite confident this will work. Oh, ice spikes biome. Wow. It's quite rare. Right, I'm gonna have to. I didn't even make a block item, so I'll have to set block it. Set. Oh. I forgot you have to do that. Test mod test. It crashed. Is it crashed? Yeah, it's crashed. Okay, what's the issue then? The issue is there is some recursion. Oh. Oops. Oh, of course. Super.add. Oopsie. I need to be more careful with that. Man, this red screen is absolutely blinding. I need to install that dark mode mod. I forgot what it's called. Okay, here we are. Oh, where's it gone? There it is. There's the beauty. Okay, should have printed something in the console. Fantastic. That's what it's meant to do. Now, let's just do that. Oh, why is it inserting into my inventory? Huh? Is that what it does? What are you working on right now? Right now I am just working on TurtyLib and testing if what I've done works, which it seems to have worked. I mean, I don't know why it's putting it in my inventory when it fills up, but I guess that's what insert does. Yeah, so it's still 64 grass. Let's just check if that saves. I think it will, but there's only one way to find out. I didn't know that ice spikes biome existed until I saw a waifu's video. Yeah, I mean, they are quite rare, like, for absolutely no reason. They are quite rare. Okay, yeah, that does save. Fantastic. I mean, we can test it across leaving the game as well, but I mean, if it saves leaving the world, I think it's fine. Yeah, ice spikes and that other biome. Well, the mesa is kind of rare, but not that rare. The one I'm thinking of is the tall birch forest. Let's see. Most people don't know it's a different biome even, but is, if I know the name. So, maybe it's not a new biome anymore. What's this one even? Old growth birch forest? What's this one? Ah, yeah, this is the one with the tall trees. No? No, these aren't that tall. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one with the tall trees. I don't know why this one is so rare, but this one is quite rare too. Most people don't know it exists. Anyways, that is completely off topic. Can I go? There's not a splash spawn. Come on. Okay. Let's just go game mode, survival, and kill myself. As you do. Okay. Fantastic. So that works. I'm happy with that. I want to implement a few more modules while I'm at it. So, first thing that I'm going to do, first module to implement, I think I'm going to implement energy. No. The thing is with energy, with implementing energy, is it means I'm going to have to create Turty energy. And I don't want to do that yet. I think it's a little too soon to start implementing that. And I mean, that's everything from here that I'm going to need. I could start working on multi-blocks, the multi-block module. I'm not entirely sure how to do that, but we can give it a go. Did you know that you can click F3 and F4 at the same time to switch game modes? Yeah, I knew there was a button to do it, but I always forget the button to do it, so I don't use it. I mean, I know you can do F3 and N, and that'll switch you between your current game mode and spectator mode, but I always forget the hotkey for switching between game modes. I always completely forget it. Right, let's try and make a multi-block. I'll probably give up very quickly, but we can try. This doesn't need to be a capability module, so this can just be a normal module. Doesn't extend anything, it adds module. Okay. And unlike the others, this does need to override tick. Okay, this will need to hold a private final list of block pos, and we can call this, I mean, okay, should this hold a list of block pos though? I think it might be better for it to hold a map of block pos to block state. Or maybe instead of holding a block pos, it can hold like a vector-free offset, so that we know where that block is in relation to this one. Since we already have the block pos of this one. What vec3s does Minecraft have? Vector3f? Does it have a vector3f? I know there's multiple vec3s, but I don't know what they're called, because they change them all the time. They always have different names. Okay, you know, I'll stick with that for the second until it tells me otherwise. We'll go offset map is equal to a new hash map. Might want to create my own vec3. Okay, vec3f is a thing. Nice. You love to see it. What is this block going to do? So this is just a module. This isn't anything specific. This is just going to be my multi-block system. So this is actually going to need to hold a lot of data, but that's fine. Okay, so that's the offset map. Let's grab the onload method. And this. Okay. So when is onload called exactly? Onload. So here we go. Onload. Tick block entities. Fresh block entities. So this is when it's actually added to the world. I don't believe that. I don't believe that's when it's added to the world. I believe... Oh, is this a forge method? This must be a forge method because this has a parameter name. And it's java.util. There's no import. So... Okay, pending fresh block entities. Where is that referenced? Up here. Oh, those are both forge things. Oh, which I guess makes sense because onload is a forge method, isn't it? Okay, what is it called here? Add and register block entity. And register? Oh, it registers it to the game listeners, I'm guessing. Interesting. Tick block entities. Where are you called? So we'll look at the server. Right down here. Okay. Hello, Adam. Welcome to the stream. Okay, I'm going to assume this runs when I think it runs. Probably doesn't, but it might. So what I'm going to want to do... Let's create... Oh, I put test block in the wrong package. So common dot block testing. There we go. Just get that added there. And then I can just delete this testing package when I release it to the Maven. Actually, I don't think I need to use Maven. I think I can use, I think there's a special, like, GitHub Maven, which uses the GitHub release. Pretty sure. I'm just trying to Google it, but doesn't really say. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. First things first, let's create a way to load a multi-block from a Json, because that's obviously how I want multi-blocks to be done. That is the superior way. So let's come into core. Let's create a new class. Let's call it okay, I think there is a special name that you're meant to put for this class. Trying to find what I'm looking for. I can't find it. There's a specific way you're meant to do it. Okay, actually, I have it in one of my mods. In old Turty chemistry, I should have a lot of Json stuff. Here we go. So core util. Yes, this is what I was looking for. Simple JSON data manager. Now the issue is, I believe this was made for assets, but that's probably fine. Simple JSON data manager. Okay, let's look in the Minecraft class. No, not the Minecraft class. I want to look at the reload listener, which JSON reload listener, JSON reload. It's not called JSON reload listener anymore. Oh. I'm gonna have to translate this then. So translate class. It is called a simple JSON resource reload listener. What a name. The confusing thing is, it's in the directory net.minecraft.server, but it's not used for server stuff, it's used for client stuff. Like, bruh. I know. Oh no, this one is actually used for server stuff, so this is recipes, loot tables. Right, okay. It's not the one I was thinking it was then. So let's extend that. Let's add the constructor. Let's add the unimplemented methods. Okay, so we have our Json, and this is the name. I think we're meant to make our own Json though. Instead of trying to pass a Json in. So private static final Json is equal to a new JSON builder dots there's a specific thing that is good to put on here. Disable HTML escaping, that's it. Dot create. And I can just pass that into here. We'll call this folder. I'm pretty sure that's the folder. And then this, yeah, that's the folder. And then let's make a class of T, and that's the data class. And we want to save that class, so private final data class, this.data class is equal data class. What's the okay, that's fine, whatever. Then let's create a map. So private, or we can go protected so that we can access that in other places. Final map resource location T. We'll call that data. There we go. In fact, I don't think this should be final. In fact, I don't think we should even initialize that. Because we need to... Oh no, I guess we can. We can. This.data. Is equal to... Okay, let's create a new map. Let's create a map of resource location. And JSON object. JSON element. And we'll call that data copy is equal to a new hash map. Then we can say data copy is equal, and let's just change these. So this, I guess, is the, well, this is the map of path to the actual JSON itself. And obviously this is just the resource manager. We don't need that. And I have no idea what this is. But since it starts with profiler, we can call it profile. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna copy paste this method I have from when I last used this. There we go. And then this.data is equal map values JSONs, and what do I have to pass in here? This get JSON as data, and this is a util function like that. And there we go. Now this needs to be a JSON element, otherwise that's not going to work. Profiler filler is probably for the pie chart in the debug menu. But why would that be used for loading the JSONs? I don't think it could be for that. But maybe it is. Because that profiler isn't active when you're loading JSONs. At least it shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. Because we don't have to use it anyways. Which is great. Okay. Is this everything? Should be. Should be everything. Let's create a... Okay, let me actually just find how I sort of attach this JSON data manager thing, because I don't remember how I did it. Okay, how did vanilla attach it? Let's come back into this. And this is used, okay, for example, server advancements. Sure, where's this used? Advancements in server resources. Okay. So I'm guessing this shouldn't be in the main class since it's server side. Let's create a package for events then. And let's create a class for I feel like it's got to be a server event. Let's come back into this. When is this class constructed? So this.resources.register a reload listener. This.resources is what? Oh, right there. I think there's an event called add reload listener event. Add reload. Oh, there is. When is this called? On resource reload, which is called. Oh, right there. Okay. Okay, yeah. So let's create a class, and I assume that's. What bus is that? It is fired on the Forge bus. Okay, so let's create a class. Forge common events. I assume it's a common event, but it might be. This event is fired on each reload listener list. So since it says specifically server-side resources, I'm going to assume it's actually a server event. Maybe. I'm sure someone will tell me if that's wrong. Not at mod. Well, it is at mod, isn't it? At mod, but then event bus. Sorry. Mod ID is equal TurtyLib dot mod ID bus is equal bus dot forge. Value is equal dist dot dedicated server. That might not be right, but I'm just going to take a stab in the dark and hope it's right. Fantastic. Now let's create our @subscribe event. Now I'm actually going to give this a priority. Event priority dot high. Since something like this is actually quite important. And we'll call this add reload listeners. add reload listeners event. I think I can just put that straight in. Can I not? Attribute values undefined for the type. Okay, doesn't like that then. Annotations, jank. So then I can do, I assume just event add listener. And then probably want a constant for it. Does this use, does it make it a constant? It doesn't. But should it be a constant? I guess yes. I don't see why not. We'll make it protected just in case. Protected static final simple Json. No, not that simple. Json data manager. We'll leave that as T for now. I'll fill that out in a second. And I'll just call this multi-block. Listener is equal to a new simple Json data manager. Then the folder, I'll just call that multi-blocks. Does that need my mod ID though? I don't remember how that works. And the class, I'll just call it multi-block data for now. Obviously it doesn't exist yet, but that's fine. What's going on here? Okay, and then multi-block listener. Okay, let's create this class then. Probably util. No, let's create a package for it. Whatever. Got data. That way I can plonk this in here as well. Okay, and I'm going to have a public map of integer. Actually, I don't know what I want in here right now. Import that. There we go. Close that. Close that. Close that. Fantastic. Now let me find what my data classes used to look like. So I assume, I don't even know where I put them. Oh, what the hell? So, if anyone wanted to know why I have started rewriting Turty chemistry, this is why. Because of stuff like this. And it existed all over the place. And it's horrible. Yeah. This is why I'm rewriting Turty chemistry, if anyone is really that curious to know. And yeah, so I guess I just need to make one of these classes anyways. Ignore that absolute jank. So what do I need to actually save in here? Let's create a test JSON for this. So let's go a new package, data.testing, and let's create a new package .multiblocks. Create a new file, call it test.json. Now obviously it's going to start with an object. From there though, I'm not sure exactly how I want it to look. I think there's a lot of ways you could do a multi-block. Many ways. I think the best way is probably something like okay, let's something like layers, and then this could contain like an object where we can say you could replace that with a record. Yeah, so yeah, records didn't exist in 1.15 as AG6 said. Unfortunately, records are great. I don't generally find much use for records, unfortunately. I feel like, I mean, I'll probably be able to use one here. Yeah, I'll probably be able to use one here, but generally they don't have as much use as you would think they have. I have no idea how I want to do this. How do I want to format this? Okay, well I could go something like 0. Obviously not as an array if I were to do it like that. Like I could go 0 and then I could go 1, you know, and then 2 and etc. etc. Alternatively, I can make it an array of like objects like this, and then all the sort of stuff is in these mini objects. I kind of prefer the first one. It's more explicit, easier to tell what's going on. So you can tell that this is layer 0, and you know, you can tell this is layer 1. It's just a little more obvious. Yeah, let's do it like this. Now the question is, how do I want to define these layers. Like what is layer 0? Should layer 0 be the bottom of the multi-block, or should it be the layer at which the controller is? If it's the layer at which the controller is, potentially there could even be like -1. But how complicated? That's quite kind of confusing. Alternatively, I could just do something like this, and then these are your 3 layers. No, that's weird. Yeah, let's start with layer 0. I think that just makes more sense. Layer 0 will be the bottom layer of the multi-block. And from here we can have something like, how do recipes do them? Let me just look at a recipe, because it's going to be kind of like a recipe if we're doing it in a layer system like this. So I haven't looked at a recipe in a long time. Yeah, so they use a list. Something like this. Where I could say blah 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 blah. That's layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and etc, etc. And then just have a key system. So we can go keys, and then we can associate D with like something, probably an object more realistically. And then we can say H is something else. I think this is probably the best way to do things. I'm going to do it this way. So let's just create a simple pattern for now. Let's go AAA, 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 then let's come to layer 1. Go AAA. Let's go A. Let's go AAA. What didn't I like about that? Oops, it's the wrong brackets. Then we can go layer 2. AAA, AAA, AAA. So then we can come down to here. We can go A, And we can say A is we can have something like blocks. And we can say name Minecraft : dirt. Actually, no, let's not do dirt. Let's do something like oh, I want a way to be able to define it as a block state rather than just a block. Hello Mythic Space, welcome to the stream. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm just going about, I guess. Nothing too crazy. I was sitting here wondering why there was a large delay. Turns out I was dumb and didn't realise I was on live. Yes, I mean, sometimes YouTube kind of disconnects you from the live preview. Like you slowly just get behind and behind and behind, because it's unlikely your internet is managing to fully catch up the whole time, so you'll slowly go behind. Or quickly go behind if you have bad internet. Like me, I have awful internet. So I'm sure if I was watching this stream right now, I would be like half an hour behind. But how would I define a block state in this? I'm not sure. Even if I can define a block state, I'm not sure how I would read a block state from a JSON. I mean, I'm sure there is already a built-in way to do that. Yeah, there has to be a built-in way to do that, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, what blocks have block states in Minecraft? Let's think. For some reason I can't think of anything that has a block state. Okay, you know, pressure plate, sure. Stone _ pressure plate. No, that's really weird. That wouldn't work. Let's go. It needs to be a full block. Okay, let's go furnace, Minecraft furnace, and then we need a way to define the states. Can I do that with a something like this? And then just go facing north? No, that's weird. Not like that. That's not what I meant. Facing north. Lit. False. Can I do that? Possibly. And then I could go with another one, so I could say, put another block down here. And this could mean it could be either this one or this one, which I might want for certain things, maybe. But it's more just the fact that this is a library, so someone else might want it. So I could say like instead of Minecraft furnace, I could just say Minecraft colon dirt, for example. And then we could have H down here. So let me change one of these to H. We'll go with this one. Aha. Anyways. And then we can say blocks. And then an object. Now, I'm sure this is not great, and I might come up with a better way of doing this in the future. Right now, I just want to get it working, and then we can figure out how to make this look a bit better. And then we can say controller colon true. And that way this will be the controlling block. Or alternatively, a better way to define that would be to actually put it up here. That way you can only have one controller. So I could say controller colon H. Or in fact, no, that makes more sense, probably. I mean, I could have it inside the keys, but that's a little weird. So I could put it down here. That's probably the better way to do this. Okay, I also want the ability to have other stuff. So, like, I want the ability to say energy input, and energy input, and then I want to be able to define what block is an energy input as well. Same with like water input and etc, etc. For now, I'll leave it with that and we'll figure it out. Are you using a library for multi-blocks, or is this your code? So this is my own library. So I'm trying to make a library for this, basically. So now we need to figure out how to convert this JSON into a Java object. Let's plonk it on the side. Yeah, that will work. Cool. Will it be public? Hopefully. I mean, that is the plan. Okay. So what I want to do is let's create a public static class. We'll call this the layers. And the layers will just need to be we don't need a class. We can make a public static, or not static because it needs to be part of the object. So we can create a public final map of integer to a list of string. Right, and that will be the layers. And then we want the keys, which will be a public final. Once again, a map. So a map of string to, and this is where it gets slightly complex. Probably want a custom class for this little key down here. Or I guess it could be just a list of block state. Yeah, so keys. And then we want the controller key, so public final string controller key. And obviously that's going to say it can be a record. No? You don't want to tell me that can be a record? Well, I'll tell you it can be a record. So a map of integer and a list of string. Or I guess that can just be a list of integers. Because a map is just a list with the keys being integers. So it can just be a list of a string. No, because I want to be able to have it be slightly more complicated than that. Layers, okay. And then we want a map of a string to a list of a block state. And then, well, that's the keys. And then we want a string controller key. And let's get rid of these. Let's plonk this back on the end. Here we are. Now we need to actually read this from a Json, which is going to be a little bit harder, but it should be fine. I'm going to want a different method for this then. But I can just override this, so that's fine. Okay, let's create a new class. Let's call this multi-block reader, or a multi-block data manager, and that can extend simple JSON data manager, and we'll pass multi-block data in here. Then let's add the constructor. Okay. And we can get rid of both of these. We can just pass them straight in here. So we can say multi-blocks and then multi-block data.class. Now get JSON as data. This is what we want to be able to use. And we want to just be able to return a new multi-block data. Let's create a map here, so a map of integer to a list of string layers is equal to a new hash map. Then let's create a map of string to a list of block state and this will be the keys is equal to a new hash map. And let's we can leave the string for now. Let's actually make these a var, because vars are cool. There we go. And we can put layers, keys, and for now just a string, doesn't matter. So the first thing is the layers, and this is a JSON object. So JSON object layers object is equal to JSON.gets. Oh, we actually need to get the main object first. So JSON object main is equal JSON.get as JSON object. Then we can go JSON object layers object is equal main.get as JSON object layers. Then we can go JSON object keys object is equal main.get as JSON object keys. Then we can go string controller key is equal main.get as JSON object. And we can say, I think it was controller key, just controller. And we don't want to get it as a JSON object, we want to get it as a string. In which case we don't do it like that, do we? Now let's pass this in instead of this. We're probably going to want to change that again in a second. Now let's go through the layers. So the layers will contain a bunch of integers. Now can we get all of the children? We have the entry sets, which I believe will work. So let's go for each entry. And then we get the key and the value. So string key is equal entry.getKey, and JSON object value is equal entry.getValue.get as JSON object. No, it won't be a value. It won't be a JSON object. It will be a JSON array. Get as JSON array. JSON array. And we'll call this the layer array. Trying to come up with unique names here. And then let's go layer array dot for each layer now the layer in here is by default nothing, so string layer string is equal layer dot get a string. Now we need to make a list here, so list of string layer list is equal to a new array list. Make that a var. Now let's go layer list dot add layer dot get as string. And then we can go layers dot add put, and then that is just the key, so integer dot parse int key and the layer list. Hello Michael, probably Miguel or Michael, honestly slightly weirdly spelt, no offense, but hello, welcome to the stream. So that should be the layers done. Yes, fantastic. Then let's go through the keys. So for the key, this is going to be very similar actually. So keys object dot entry set dot for each entry. Then we can say string key is equal entry dot get key. So the key will be this. I'm just thinking. Okay, what I might do I want to be able to validate that all of the keys in here are inside of here. Actually, no, I guess that doesn't really matter. I want to be able to check it the other way round. To check that all of these are defined. So I actually probably want to handle the layers after the keys. And that way, I can just create a simple... Well, I would now have the keys in here, so I can get the key set from the map. That way I can see if... Okay, let's put this back in here. String layer string is equal to layer get a string. Okay, and if keys dot keyset dot contains, actually we want to do it the other way around. for char c in layer string. You can't do that? Do I have to convert it to a char array then? Yes. If keys.keyset contains C, if it does not contain C, then we want to throw. I don't suppose there's a way to. Oh, I can do a value of C. I'm not sure that you can. Can you cast a char to a string? Probably not. Okay. So if it does not contain the value, or it's a, I want to check if it's a white space. Is white space C? Or character, or no, I want to say and character is not a white space. Then I want to throw a new Json parse exception, I guess would be ideal. And I can say I need to be able to get the path of this JSON though. Which do I have access to when this is called? I do. Okay, let's make this a by function. And the reason being, because I can then create, so I can say in and I can take resource location and then in. In fact, this is dumb. This is so dumb. This is extremely dumb. Why do I need to use generics here? I don't need to use generics here. But it's so dumb. Okay, resource location JSON element. Resource location JSON element. Resource location T should be out. Oh no, that's JSON element 2. And then resource location, no, this is just JSON elements. Resource location, JSON element is the in, and as the out it would be T, except T is not static. So can I just make this not static? Does that work? mapper.apply. And that'll be the key and the input. And then we can go into here, resource location, lock, and JSON element JSON. By default that won't do anything, that's fine. Can I still do that? Yes, I can. So now that can be passed into here. And that way, I can use this in the exception. So I can say JSON at was missing a definition for key plus C. Something like that. Yeah, that should be pretty okay. And then that'll add all of those. If it's not contained in the keys and it's not the white space. Yep, okay. What's going on up here then? Did I accidentally... Oh no, I haven't done this yet, have I? So we have the key, which in this case would be A. So we want to get the corresponding object, which we have is the entry object. So JSON object value is equal entry dot get value dot get as JSON objects. Then we want to get the blocks field or the blocks array. So we want to say JSON array blocks is equal value dot get as JSON array blocks. Now this JSON array will contain JSON objects. So I want to be able to do blocks dot for each. We'll just call it option, and we'll say JSON object option block option is equal option dot get as JSON objects. And then we want to be able to get the different properties. So first the name, string name is equal block option dot get name dot get as string. Now we can do something like getting the block. So block is equal block dot, do we have a way to get it from the block class, or is that a no? No, okay. Block is equal to forge registries dot blocks dot get entries dot stream dot map or we can filter entry dot get key dot get registry name or location. What's the difference here? Get registry name dot toString equals ignore case name, and if it does, then we want to map it to entry dot get value. So we can just say entry : get value dot find first just put map dot entry. Okay, and that's optional of block. Oh right, I can't name it entry because entry already exists. Okay, in that case, let's call it. Oh, let's just call it E. Or like Enry. I don't know. Etry. Etry kind of works. If block dot we can just do block dot if present block, and if it's not present, then we can do this. Just name this option block. Let's create a I want to create one of those things. What are they called? Bar atomic block is equal to a new atomic. Can you do like atomic objects? You can, right? Yeah, atomic reference, that's it. Of type block. And I'll just do atomic reference : set. And else we can just throw. So we can throw a new JSON pass exception. And we can say JSON at plus location references, and then we can say name which does not exist. Yeah, like that. Sure. Can I don't suppose I can remove the things for this, can I? No, unfortunately not. Okay. Great. All well and good. So now we have the block. Next we need to get the actual state info, and this is where I think things are going to get quite complicated. So let's first create an actual block variable now that we have it. So block is equal atomic block.get. Okay. Then we can say JSON object state object is equal block option dot get as JSON object state. So that will get us this right here. Then we need to find a way to check whether the block contains a definition of these states. Okay. This is probably going to be a little bit complicated. Since... No, actually, it shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be that bad. Let's do a loop through all of the entries. So, state object dot get entries gets... Oh, can I... Oh, entry set, there we go. I was very confused for a second. Okay, dot for each. Yeah, that'll do. Entry. Oh, I can't call it entry, can I? Oh no. Okay, we're slowly shortening this down. We're now at array. String key, which I don't think we can call it key either, is equal array.key. Can't call it key, can we? No. Okay. String property is equal array.key. Hello F4LS3, welcome to the stream. So we have the property, and then we'll go, we don't actually know what the value would be. The value could be multiple things. Well, no, it's only going to be 3 things. So it's either going to be a boolean, a string, or a number. So let's have you ever gotten changes are not tracked, unable to determine incremental changes before, and if so, how to fix? I have never heard of that before. Maybe rerun debug mode? I'm not sure. I've never heard of anyone having that issue before. Yes, we want to get the value. So we want to say if array.getValue. Well, okay, let's just step back a second. JSON element. We'll call this. Can we call this value? No, we can't call it value. Okay, JSON element. Okay, we'll call it property val is equal array.getValue. Then we'll say if property val dot is so we can say instance of Json string isn't a thing. If property val is instance of a Json, no, it's not going to work. Is okay, we only have primitive. Only primitive is going to work here. So if it's JSON primitive, then we want to say JSON primitive val is equal property val dot. Yeah, it's going to be a pain to do. Hey, I just got back. Are you making a JSON parser? Yeah, I am making a JSON parser for multi-blocks. So this is the JSON. I'm probably going to completely change this JSON in the future anyways. I think it could probably be done better than this, or at least simplified more than this. But at the same time, it's also going to have more added to it. So yeah, it's just going to change in the future. But for now, this will do. I just want to try and get this to work first. So we don't really have a way to check if this is going to work. Okay, we can get it as a JSON primitive. From the primitive val, can we say... Oh, we can. Oh, fantastic. Okay, that's great. If primitive val dot is boolean, then we want to say block how can I get the properties? Get state definition? No. I want to get all the different possible block states. Let's look at get state definition. Oh, I can't. Okay. We have the block state registry. This doesn't hold a name, does it? Unfortunately not. Do you hold a name? No. State definition. So that just holds... It's a state holder. Oh, this does. So this holds a map of string to property. Okay, good. And we can get property by name. And we can also get a collection of the properties as well as a list of the possible states. Okay, that's fantastic. So that's exactly what we want. So we probably want to use the get property one. let's store this up here so we don't have to get this every time. State definition, and we'll just call this state def is equal to that, and then we can say state def dot get property, and we want to get the property. So what does that get us? That gets us a property. Let's rename this to property string. No, not that one. This one here. And it's this property. Now, from the property, okay, we can get all the values. We want to be able to check if it's a Boolean property. So if property is instance of Boolean property, then we can say, let's create the block state first. So block state is equal block.default block state. We can say state dot set value, sets value property, and primitive val dot get as Boolean. Okay, actually, let's do bool property like that. There we go. And then we can say else if primitive val is number, then we can go final. Actually, we can do this up here. Okay, and property is instance of integer property, or is there such thing as a float property? There's not, is there? Instance of like number property or float property, double property, long property? No, okay. So just integer. Then we can say, oh, and let's call this int property. State dot set value int property, primitive val dot get as int. And let's do an and here instead of like that. Else if primitive val dot is string and property instance of, there's not a string property, is there? No, okay. So here's where things get complicated. We need to be able to get it as an enum property, but to be able to set the value, we actually need to be able to get the enum, and I don't think we can do that. Although we can try. So we can say enum property, and then primitive. Maybe we can get something from the enum property. Can we get the enum? Get all. Maybe I can get the possible values, or I can do get value by the name. So I could do get value primitive val dot get a string. Oh, but that gives us an optional. Optional val is equal to that. What is an optional of what? I need to be able to open get value. Eclipse doesn't want to do that. Come on, let me open get value. Open declaration. Bruh. Come on. Come on. Why not? I can't open anything, actually. Eclipse. Hello, Eclipse? It's just given up on me. Content assist is it's just left. It's gone home. Okay, let me restart. Try again. And just wait a second for everything to load. Bruh? What? Why? Well, that's annoying. Okay, so it does give us what we want. It gives us the correct enum. Can I do something like that? No. Can I do that here? Add type arguments to enum property. But I can't do that. It doesn't want me doing that because then property cannot safely cast. We can do it unchecked. It's fine. So that works like that. If let's say if val is not present, so is present, not present. I'm going to throw a new Json pass exception. Json at location references value plus primitive val get as string plus for property name plus property string for defined key key but does not exist. Is key correct here? No. I'm looking for name. For block name for defined key but there we go. I think that makes sense. And then we can say else throw a new JSON pass. Oh, don't want to print. Excuse me. JSON pass exception. JSON at location references a value for property name plus property string for block name class name for defined key plus key, however, is not a valid integer, boolean, or string. I think that makes sense. Oops, I missed the good old semicolon. Okay. That gets us, hopefully, the block state. With the block state, we can add it to this keys. So block state here. We need to create a list of blocks. So let's come up here. Let's go var block list is equal to a new array list of block state. And we can say right at the bottom, so here, block list.add state. And then coming out of this loop here, we can say keys.add, or keys.put, I mean, key block list. Okay, that should be our keys. Holy crap, that is a lot. Damn. I might shove some of this into its own method, but I'll do that some other time, not right now. Right now what we do want to do is we want to test if that all works. Why so much indentation instead of ward conditions? I'm totally not Googling what a ward condition is. Okay, I googled it and it doesn't tell me, so I have no idea what a ward condition is. Anyways, that should at least theoretically work, but theory does not always work. What's this error? What did I leave with an error? GUI utils? What? No! What? I literally... Huh? Okay. I literally ran an AT, which is meant to do that. It's basically not if X do Y else error, but not X then return. Oh, those are ward conditions. Oh, that error's gone now. I mean, I can't really use that anywhere here. All the indentation isn't if condition. It's not conditions, it's just loops. There's just multiple loops here. There's not really any conditions. I mean, yeah. I guess I could say here. Yeah, I mean here I could say if it's not a primitive, then I can throw this. That shouldn't actually be here. Where did I put that? Here it is. I mean, I can do that, and then that means I don't need to have this if statement. But that only gets rid of one layer of indentation. The rest are all literally necessary. This is the loop of the keys. This is the loop of the blocks in the keys, and then this is the loop of the states in the blocks. So none of those ones are optional. And then I have these here, which aren't really optional because I mean, I could do an if state before which checks that it's not all of these, but then that's just a pain. So just if not primitive, continue. Yeah, but if it's not a primitive, then you want to throw, because that's an issue. Yeah, if it's not a primitive, then it's an invalid JSON, and it should throw an exception. So why do you even save the states? You can get the states on world load from the world, so you only need to save the pos. What? I'm not saving the pos or the state, but sure. So in the data, oh, this is the data manager. So that gets us the multi-block data. All of this should just be passed straight through. Now, I am wondering, instead of putting the key in the data, if I can just get the state from the key, which actually I probably can. No, it's easier to just hold a string in there and get it later. Here I'm just deserializing the JSON, the multi-block JSON. Is this using tabs instead of spaces? Why is this using tabs instead of spaces? JSON editor, formatter, text editors. Where's the tabs instead of spaces thing? Insert spaces for tabs. There we go. Apply. Apply and close. And if I just save, I think that should reformat. That doesn't bloody reformat. Fuck. Although I can format like that. There we go. Much better. Is this using spaces as well? Yes. Are these all using spaces? Yes. Amazing. Okay, that can close now because that's not an issue. How to test this then? Don't really want to test it right now. I mean, I think that's probably going to be about it for this stream. We have been going for almost 3 hours trying to get this all to work. I was intending to work on the Shale Fracturer today, but I guess that's not an option now. Let's just switch our simple JSON data manager to our multi-block data manager instead, which was core events / server events. Let's plug it in here, and one of these. There we go. Still not sure whether this needs to be a constant or not, but I think that's fine anyways. Also not sure whether this needs to be dedicated. I wonder if that's on the wiki, actually. Let me look at the wiki. So we're talking about I don't think it's going to be on here. No. Unfortunately, it's not on the wiki. Oh wait. Unless it's this. Could be in here. No. Yeah, it's not in there. And there's no point checking on the Forge wiki because it won't be on the official Forge wiki. There's no chance. Okay, that's fine. I'm pretty sure this is correct. Yeah. Let's close all of these. And yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for this stream. I'll probably, between this stream and whenever the next stream is, might be tomorrow. I am free tomorrow, so I might stream tomorrow. But between this stream and the next stream, I'm probably going to see if I can test that out. And if it doesn't work, I will quickly fix it. And hopefully get some sort of implementation for it to get started with in the next stream. And figure it all out. So, yeah. I hope you guys did enjoy this stream. If you did, then please be sure to like it and subscribe as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream. Goodbye.